Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are from what part of the world you're at, and welcome to this wonderful special product presentation Zoom musical with Joe Fontechia. Boy, that was a mouthful. We have a special show for you today, and I have to tell you, I was talking to Joe earlier as he was rehearsing and warming up, and he says, "Oh my gosh, this thing is actually a really nice organ." So he's playing on one of his personal favorites, and so without further ado, I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to go from Tucson to Sun City Center in a matter of seconds. Three, two, one. And there he is, everybody. Mr. Joe Fontechia, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Joe Fontechia here in Sun City, beautiful Florida. And those of you up north, I wish you were down here right now. I'm playing on the Stardust Lowry, and this is kind of a combination of the traditional organ and an easy play organ. This is something that I think when home hobbyists look at it, go, I'll never be able to figure this out. And actually, it is the easiest organ to actually perform on and use all the facilities. So I'm going to start off with something because there's a guy who's long gone, but his name was Liberace, and we're going to have a lot more of Liberace when you come for the Dennis Aw shows. But I just thought I'd give that as a start because it really is a great sound that's on here. So listen to it. And actually, these are called society piano, and it's really quite good. And I'm going to play an old standard, and you'll know who sang it. Thank you. That was Dream a Little Dream with me. And that was, I think, done by the Mamas and the Papas, if I remember. But I was using the Liberace style called Mr. Showman. And in the Stardust, it's really very, very unique because it's a combination of the traditional way of playing the organ to being a very simple way of playing the organ. And it also has unbelievable different ways of setting it as. It's the first one that had the color screen in the front. It also has over 600, you hear that, 600 songs setups for you. So that when you play, all you have to do is touch and it will set up the sound of a particular organ that or song that you want to play. So we're going to do some as we go along, but I'm going to do one a little bit different this time because I'm going to use another part of this, which is called style list. Style list means that you want a particular type of music, Latin music, polkas, so on. And since we have the Irish St. Patrick's Day coming, I thought I would go to where it says bagpipes. So all I did is touch that. So I'm going to do a little bagpipe number for the Scottish people for St. Patrick's Day. And if you really hear it, you're going to hear the bagpipes being played. And it's one unusual. I'm going to play it just like the bagpipes. The bagpipes has one tone, and it keeps it. It's called the drone tone. And you don't change the chord because you change the notes, but the chord always stays the same. That's what makes the sound of the bagpipe very unusual. I'm going to do it that way, and then I'm going to add the chords in with the easy play. But just listen to how this sounds. It really is very, very unusual. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's talk about the Stardust just a little bit. You have over on the left side, you have what is called rhythm styles. What these are, for those of you that are organists, these are the blue buttons that you hire orchestras. And what you have here, for each one of the different styles, like waltzes, big band, country, there are 8 different styles built into that. That was the first time they went that much into one button. So if we add it all up, I counted it today, it took me a long time, it's 192 different orchestras that are in there. We have over 600 song selections, so 192 styles of music. I am not going to try to go through all of them, but I will try to do a few of them today so you hear them. Then we have in the middle, we call these our presets, and we have a master preset, which gives me 10, actually 11 different sounds for each of those orchestras. So if I times that, that actually is 2, because I have a sound up here on the upper keyboard and I have a sound over here on the lower keyboard. So that is what that is. But I love a part of this organ that is called the category presets. And that's the white buttons over here. I don't know if we can see that on our camera at all. It's over here on the right side. And we have a new button in here. It's called Lush. And these are all different. Nostalgia, jazz, sacred, holiday, brass. These are all category presets. Let me explain category presets so you understand. I can put on an orchestra, and I can keep that orchestra sound, and when I touch the category preset, if I change it, my orchestra will always stay the same. And that is what's really beautiful about that. So what I'm going to do another Irish song, and in this case, this is really unusual. You can't probably find this in your song list. Why I say that? Because it's called Danny Boy, but in your song list, it's listed as Londonderry Air. So if you want to play Danny Boy for the holidays, go into the L's in if you have your song list, and you will find it there. Most of the organs do not have it as the Londonderry Air. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a rhythm to it, but I'm not going to do it right away because I'm going to enjoy the beautiful sounds of my Lush from my category presets. And they are just gorgeous. So this is the way I learned to play, which was this nice, beautiful sound. Beautiful, beautiful. I love the applause at the end. So what I did, folks, in enjoying the keyboard, I used the more category in our category presets, and I used the one that is called Lush, and it gives me all beautiful, beautiful organ sounds. And then as I was playing, I ended up putting on one of the orchestras, which was soft and easy. And that way I kept my category preset, but I had a nice, beautiful background in it. Also, what I did in the song is I transposed. Transpose is another feature on here, and I transpose up a half a step. So all I did is touch the sharp button. So you have a lot of things on the Stardust that makes it easy to perform and play. Also, what I did is I went over and we have a feature called Golden Harp. What the Golden Harp is a feature that goes up and down the keyboard. And you have different ways that it will do it for you. It'll do it. And then we have a selection over here. This is cool. I can make it into a guitar. I can have it jump around. I can make it skip. So there are different types of features that I can do with the Golden Harp. In fact, let me do one with you, a nice little waltz. And this is one I just happened to sit through, I think, 3 hours, 4 hours of the movie. It was called Dr. Zhivago, and it even had an intermission in it. And it's a great movie, but it's awfully, awfully long. By the time it finished, I forgot what it was all about. It was one of those. But in it, they play this. I should have added it up probably 100 times of the theme from Dr. Zhivago. What is unusual, great orchestration of it, he does it in major sound, and even does it in minor. When it's a sad part of the song, of the movie. So it really is very, very unique in the way he does it in the scoring of it. And so here I'm going to use the nice setting of waltz, and I'm going to use the strings, just the strings. And what I'm going to do, though, is I am going to add the Golden Harp in different features. So listen how nice that sounds. And I'm going to play it with one finger over here. And here's the introduction. Hear that Golden Harp? I actually changed it. Now, what you have to remember about the Golden Harp, if you have that, that's a feature that's called an arpeggio, which I used to hate this because you had to practice all these things up and down the keyboard, and the Golden Harp does it for you. Silly thing like that, okay? Now, the idea behind the Golden Harp, so you remember, it comes from the speed of the song you're playing. So if the song is slower, and if the song is faster, So remember that when you put the golden harp on, that it's going to come from the speed of the tempo that you have set. I hope you've enjoyed some of the songs that I have played. Is there any questions on some of the stuff that I have done so far? Anybody have any questions for me? I hope you're enjoying this. This is kind of a fun thing. I'm showing some really cool features. Well, that's good. Now, there's another part of the Stardust that's good. It imitates a lot of different organists. And one of them is a very, very famous organist that used to have a club here in St. Pete called Lenny D. And Lenny D had more albums than any organ or any recording artist. He used to say that he had a record of more recorded albums than anybody. And in the old days, whenever you would go see a doctor and sit there for a while, they always had Lenny D music playing over the sound system for you. So he was well famous for all of this stuff. But he had a specific sound, and it is hard to duplicate. Now, you may not be able to see this, but all of a sudden, the colors of my keys up here have changed to green. Now, because the Stardust has 3 different types of organs in it. When it is red, which it is right now, I hope you could see it, that's what we call the traditional Lowry sound. When it actually, what I was doing earlier, when it is the orange or the yellow sound, that's the theater organs setup. So the organ is now changed into a different style of sound. Now, when I'm doing Lenny D, he was known for, I hate to say the word, but it really was the Hammond and the percussion sounds that he had. And the other thing that made him famous was that he put it in 2 echo chambers. And the echo chambers were called reverb. Now, you don't have to even do that. Just put the Lenny D's setup on, and your organ will automatically adjust to it in the Stardust. So here is a little bit of one of his songs. It's called Jada, and I hope you enjoy it. It's kind of fun. Listen to all the reverb that goes on. It echoes. It goes echo, 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 echo. So. Wow, that's the Lenny D sound. Unbelievable organ. It has an unbelievable sound. Now, again, like I said, it's not that big. And let me explain sound. You know, when you buy a piano is, everybody looks at the wood. The sound that comes out of a piano comes from what we call a sounding board. And the better the sounding board, the better the sound. And that's wood. And what you're looking at is an unbelievable cabinet. And really, that's what's missing, and that's what I love, because the warmth of the organ sound comes from the wood that is here. And they really outdid themselves when they designed this, because we have an unbelievable music rack that covers it all. We also have an unbelievable music setting that I can move the music closer to me because I'm getting blind as I get older. So that's one of the most important things. And also we have a control here on the right side. It's called for monitor speakers because I have speakers all over on the top here. And there's a control here that will give me, and I put it at 3 o'clock because that balances this perfect. I can move it all the way to 6 o'clock, or I can move it all the way over to the other one to what we call 5 o'clock, which shuts it off. So I'm going to move this so that the sound is perfectly balanced, and I do it at 3 o'clock, okay? So I've got that on right there for my 3 o'clock. So I've showed you a couple of neat features that are in here, what we call all of our different orchestras, when we have how we have 3 different types of organ sounds that are built in here. And over on the right side, we have something called harmony. Harmony comes all the ways from always what we do in the left hand, and we have a good variety of harmony. That, again, when I push one of my buttons called General Presets, it will set it up for me. I don't have to worry about that. So I hope you've enjoyed some of these. I found some very neat things in here just a little while ago, and I think Robert was listening to it. We have something in here called the Boogie Woogie, but we have a gospel setting in here that's called Southern. If you have it on your organ, look it up. If you don't, come and see one of your advisors and get it on there. This has the best Boogie Woogie sound. Boogie Woogie is a way of going up and down the keyboard, which takes years and years to learn. Now, when I want you to hear it, and then I'm going to play along with it. So I want you to hear the Boogie Woogie sound just for the heck of it for a minute here. So listen to this. This is really unbelievable. Now, also with that, and I had a class today earlier about what we call the fill-in or the FX button. Everything on the organ has fill-ins that are in there. But you know what? There's never been a book about all the different fill-ins. And I found a new one in here, and I never knew it was there. And I've been playing on this for years. And I'm going to hit it for a minute. And it's a break, which means that if you've got the fake it button, oh my God, this is really unbelievable. So listen to this for a minute. And I'm going to hit that FX for you. And I'm going to have the fill in. But it's not going to be there. I'm going to do it though. All right, now you got all the pieces. So here's the song. This is Johnny Be Good, and it's going to be without the Boogie Woogie at the beginning, and then we're going to add the Boogie Woogie and all the other stuff that's in it. It is so much fun to play, and I hope you enjoy it. It's really, really, really cool. So we're going to have some fun with it. Here we go. All right, I got to add applause.
Woo-hoo.
Huh? Oh my goodness gracious. Listen, I hope you've enjoyed some of the more unusual features that I have put on the Stardust for you, including our category presets, some of our general presets, some of the beautiful, beautiful sounds. I'm going to do one more number before I turn it over to Robert, and this is when I'm going to go and turn this back into just playing the regular organ sounds, and I'm going to bring that into the category settings, and I'm going to bring it up into, let's see, which one will be really nice. Should we do the, let's do this one. We're going to do this one. I think this will be really sweet, because I have in this a unbelievable Stradivarius. I've got a beautiful organ. I even have Harry James. Okay, so I have a few of those in here. So I'm going to start with the Stradivarius violin, and I'm going to play a song from a chorus line called What I Did for Love. Just a short version of it before I turn it over to Robert, but it's really beautiful.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I had to change
Wow.
the volume. I'm
That
sorry,
was
I got to
awesome.
play with feeling, so I hope you heard that.
Well, you have some more music coming up in a minute, right?
Right. You have
Okay, well, don't go
finale.
anywhere, folks. Joe's got a grand finale for you, and you definitely want to hear this. But first of all, just for the videos I can see, show of hands, thumbs up. Did he do a good job? Yes? Looks like we got a lot of thumbs up except for Jerome. That's because he's jealous, Joe. He's jealous you're playing on a Stardust in front of all these wonderful folks. Well, before I turn it back over to Joe, just a couple of things I want to say. First of all, thank you very much for attending. Thank you for being a part of our family here, and all your support and keeping us through these still very slightly difficult times, I would say. But I want to kind of share a kind of a unique opportunity. As I was listening to your concert here, Joe, and I was extremely amazed by the Stardust, obviously, I went on my computer. I said, I wonder how many of these we have in stock, because we had a sale going on them. And I looked up, and would you know it, we have 25 Stardusts in inventory between Florida and Arizona. Can you believe that? That's with 7 locations. That's an average of 3 or 4 per store. That's like not a lot, but it's a lot. And I thought, at the beginning of the month, I told everybody that we were going to have, I told all the salespeople we were going to have a sale on our Stardust to kind of reduce the amount. But I thought of something even more clever while this was happening, especially when I heard some of that Southern gospel. That really put me in the mood to do something even more special. It's like there was something that told me, do something for these wonderful people. So pay very close attention to this. Are you ready? So we have, when I say we, I have announced a sale on all of our Stardust. We have 25 of them, and I did savings on 25 models. Okay? Just to try to bring the inventory down. Today, what I'm going to do is take the savings from 25 units and put the savings into 3 of them. So you don't have to be a wizard to find out that's 8 times the savings that I normally would do. So if there's anybody that's interested and like what you heard today, Joe will autograph that one. That might make the price go up on that one. It's worth big money on eBay. But if there's an interest in what you saw and heard today, it's a phenomenal instrument. By the way, the Stardust was the last top-of-the-line SU series model that was in production. So there are a lot of great things about it. And so again, so I want to say it again, I'm going to take today the 25 units in savings and divide it in, instead of dividing in 25 units, I'm going to divide it between 3 units. So the savings is worth talking to your PA afterwards and finding out what that is. So with that said, I think Joe has some final number here for you. I'm going to zip it back over, and then afterwards, your PA will reach out to you. They might even say, come chat with me for a little bit. Let me change the spotlight here. There we go. And back to you, Mr. Joe Fontechia.
Well, here's, we're going to finish with the number that I've played on the Stardust over and over when I traveled because I loved it. And it's the big theater Broadway sound. So I hope you enjoy it for the finale.
And a big round of applause to Mr. Joe Fontechia, everybody.
Thank
Big
you.
round of applause. Well, we thank you. We hope you enjoyed. If you have an opportunity to meet with your PA, click on the screen, say hello, find out. Like I said, we are going to do some really special things today. And what did I say? Receive 8 times the amount of savings. Woohoo! Another big round of applause to Mr. Joe Fontechia, everybody.
Thank you.
Big round of applause. Yeah, give it up, give it up.